folks, it's Blackwing 2040 back with another video for you guys, and I'm going to be doing another top 10 video for you guys. It's going to be my top 10 superhero TV shows. Now, we had like a whole run, top 10 animated superhero TV shows, if I said that correctly. Animated shows, because superheroes and animation equals awesomeness. Believe me, it really is. So there were a lot, and there was a wide variety of shows that I really want to have on this list. But don't worry, some shows will get an honorable mention. So just so you know, this is my top 10. So if your show doesn't make your favorite show doesn't make the list, trust me, it will get an honorable mention. So let's get started with number 10. Number 10 is Avengers Assemble. So when I first watched Avengers Assemble, I thought it was a sequel to Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but it had no connection to Earth's Mightiest whatsoever. And the design of the suits were made to look just like the movie. And the show was pretty decent. First season, they have them going up against Red Skull, who now has his own. He hacked one of Iron Man's suits, and now he calls himself Iron Skull. So that was good. And he had a group of supervillains called the Cabal, which had Dracula, Atuma, Doctor Doom, the Super Adaptoid, MODOK. It was really good. And then season 2, we got the Squadron Supreme, as well as Thanos as the main threat, and Ultron. So especially the Ultron surprise, that really surprised me the most, because like once the Avengers defeated Thanos and everything, I saw Tony's little robot friend Arsenal, it just transforms to Ultron. My jaw just drops. I'm like, Ultron? And now it's on its third season, and it's called Avengers Assemble, the Ultron Revolution, and the suits have been made to look just like the suits in Age of Ultron. Ultron's design is from his movie counterpart, and we're supposed to get more Avengers in this season. We're supposed to get Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Vision. So I'm really looking forward to that, you guys. So number 9, I wish I didn't have the show so low, but it's a good thing it's on this list. Number 9 is Batman Beyond. If you are someone who's a huge Batman fan and grew up in the 90s or early 2000s, you know darn well you were watching the show every time it came on. Batman Beyond left such a huge spot in my heart when I first started watching it. And then when it got canceled, and years later when the Hub brought it back on TV, I was like, I'm watching my old favorite TV show again. I even forgot what the intro was when I was watching it on the Hub. I was like, this intro doesn't sound right to me. I don't remember it sounding like this, but who cares? I'm just glad I got to reminisce a piece of my childhood, and it had a brilliant movie, by the way. Return of the Joker, my number 1 favorite DC animated movie, and you guys know that. Alright, so on to number 8, Green Lantern, the animated series. This show had so much potential. It was so good. The animation worked very well for the show, especially with the CGI for the ring constructs and everything. It was amazing. And this show is the reason why I am such a huge Green Lantern fan. For you guys don't know, I'm not just, a huge Batman fan. I love the Green Lantern mythos, because when it first aired, it showed the Red Lanterns. I was like, Red Lanterns? Like, since when were there Red Lanterns? And then I remember that day, after I watched like the pilot episode, I researched every single Lantern Corps there was, from red to orange, yellow, the blue, the Indigo Tribe, the Star Sapphires, the Black Lanterns, to the White Lanterns, everything. That show really hit me hard with the Green Lantern, and I am so glad I'm sad the show got canceled. That, and along with Young Justice, both shows were phenomenal. And I feel like they really almost had every single Lantern Corps in there. If they just had Sinestro as a villain, they would have had every single Corps in there, which would have been so awesome. Sinestro does well as a villain and not a good guy. He really does it. Villain fits his persona. Trust me. All right, number 7. I know some people might be mad at me for this series being so low, but hey, number 7 is Batman the Animated Series. I wanted to have the show so high, but trust me, there are more shows greater than Batman the Animated Series, and you'll know why. But Batman the Animated Series, you guys remember I did a review on it. I binge watched the whole series. I have the whole collection. It's a phenomenal, and it's an Emmy Award winning series. Paul Dini and Bruce Timm did an amazing job writing it, giving us outstanding character performances and voice performances from Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, Lauren Lester, Arlene Sorkin, and so many others. Every character had such a unique standpoint in every episode, and each character had their moment to shine. And the new Batman Adventures, which transversed it revamped the animation to look like Superman the Animated Series. I love that season because the animation is beautiful, and Tim Drake is in it because I love Tim Drake. Best Robin ever. I'm sorry guys, but Tim Drake is the best Robin. Nightwing is my second. Alright, number 6, Static Shock. Now this show, everyone knows Static Shock was everyone's favorite show growing up. Here's the thing, when I was watching the show, I never knew Static Shock was a DC superhero because I thought he was just his own person. And the one moment I found out he was a DC superhero is when I watched that team up episode he had with Batman when he was fighting Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and one of Static's Big Bang babies. But it was such a great show. It left a huge spot in my heart. Phil Lamar did an amazing job voicing Static. I met the guy. He's phenomenal. He's a really, really great dude. And I didn't watch the show completely, but I watched episodes of it. So I heard the show ended on a cliffhanger where Static was fighting Hot Streak and Ebon. Well, they fused into like this one being. So at the end of the fight, I saw the fight on YouTube. So at the end of the fight, he disappears, and turns out Static thinks it's not over yet, and then the show ends. But hey, that's how shows go like that. All right, number 5, XMen Evolution. Now, XMen Evolution is a really, really brilliant show. Think of it as like a teenage version of the X-Men. Think of it as like the Teen Titans version of the X-Men, because you have all the core members, yet they're in high school. The only adults on the team are Wolverine, Storm, Beast, and Professor X. Every other student is in high school. Cyclops is in high school. Jean is in high school. Iceman is in Iceman is already in high school. Nightcrawler is in high school. Rogue, Shadowcat, Spike, all the young mutants are in high school. But it brought a lot of great things to the table, and it introduced us to Wolverine's not female counterpart, but his clone X-23. For those of you who don't know, X-23 first appeared in X-Men Evolution, and she's one of those characters that became so popular in cartoons that she got drawn into mainstream comic books, just like how Harley Quinn was famous in Batman the Animated Series, and they put her in comic books as well. So X-Men Evolution was a really, really dope show. Alright, number 4, Spectacular Spider-Man. Another great show that ended on a cliffhanger. This show had anything a Spider-Man fan would want. It showed you the origin story, of course. The villains were phenomenal. It had everything you can ask for in a Spider-Man TV show. From the villains, from the relationships, from the character development. It was just epic. And the final episode, it was just it was powerful. Like it blew you away. It blew me away when I watched it. Everything, how bits and pieces were connected, and it was just amazing. I wish the show could come back. Of all shows, I want that show to come back, as well as Young Justice and Green Lantern. Alright, number 3 is Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Now, 1, I love the animation in the show. 2, I love the way the story of the show progresses. I was going to review this show for you guys. I just kept procrastinating with it because there were a whole lot of things they left out in the show. For those who don't know what happens at the end, Galactus just randomly appears in the final episode. Just randomly appears. And there are other bits and pieces that they left out in season 2 that they could have put in for, you know, a third season, but of course the show didn't get a third season. But it was really brilliant. It didn't just focus on the Avengers. They had other superheroes there in the show that had their moment to shine. Spider-Man got his moment. War Machine had his moment. Wolverine was in the show. Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and many other characters. And it was just phenomenal. This show was the main reason why I started to love Black Panther and the Hulk, for instance, because Hulk and Black Panther are my two favorite Avengers. I love those guys. I love those two like to death. All right, number 2, Justice League / Justice League Unlimited. Pretty much the both shows are the same. It's just continuation. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited is like the continuation from Justice League. But this was like, I think this was the first TV show I watched, and I remember always on, I don't know, it was either Friday or Saturday nights on Cartoon Network, this show would be on, and I would watch it non-stop. I enjoyed every single moment, from the heroes to the villains, always seeing the battles between good and evil. And I met the voice cast of Justice League, if you guys remember from my Comic-Con recap video, and they are such amazing people. And Andrea Romano, who did the voice direction, who was the voice director of the show, she does the perfect things for DC. Like, she finds the perfect voice actors, she finds the perfect ideas. I know, and pretty much she says if they're ever doing like, you know, a Batman movie, she always asks, can we use Kevin Conroy? Or if they're doing like a New 52 Batman movie, they use the other guy, Jason O'Mara. But most of the time, she always wants Kevin Conroy to be the voice of Batman, because everyone loves Kevin Conroy as Batman, and everyone loves Mark Hamill as the Joker. And Justice League Unlimited / Justice League, one of the greatest superheroes shows to this day. Alright, before I say my number 1 pick, let me get some honorable mentions in. Honorable mention number 1, Superman the Animated Series. It's not as up, it doesn't have that high peak level as Batman the Animated Series, but it was a really great show. It had a crossover with Batman, with Superman and Batman meeting each other for the first time. It's one of my favorite episodes from that show, and of course they decided to make it into it was a 3-part episode, and they decided to connect it together into a movie, call it the Batman Superman movie. But still, the episode's just called World's Finest, but still a great show. Alright, honorable mention number 2, Wolverine and the XMen. Now, I would say this is one of my favorite X-Men shows, but XMen Evolution I got connected to more. But Wolverine and the X-Men was really great, well written, and I liked how Wolverine took the step up to be the leader of the team, and Cyclops got pushed to the side in the show. Like, they made Cyborg like the weakest person on the X-Men in this show, because, you know, him losing Jean. He's so attached to Jean, which is, of course, I feel like he can't live without Jean. That's what I figure out what Cyclops' main problem is. But still, great show. Alright, honorable mention number 3, Spider-Man from the 90s. That was a really great show. And this show was the main reason how I got into Spider-Man. Loved it. Loved the episodes. And of course the many superheroes that guest starred in it. guest starred in the show: Iron Man, War Machine, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and the finale. I think this show also ended on a cliffhanger as well. I don't like it when shows like this end on cliffhangers. I can't. Alright, honorable mention number 4, Iron Man. Now, the first time I watched the Iron Man TV show was a little bit when I was young. Not when it was airing, but when Jetix was showing reruns of it, and it was a really good show. I think I preferred the second season because I liked the suit, and plus that intro was epic. Epic intro. Alright, honorable mention number 5. People are going to hate me when I say this. Teen Titans. Guys, I know, but this is, just so you know, this is my top 10, but be happy that I'm giving Teen Titans an honorable mention, okay? And I really don't. Teen Titans Go, let's just say Teen Titans Go is pretty much, it's for a younger audience. For us who grew up watching Teen Titans, we know we love that show to death. From every season, from every chapter, the difficulties, the drama that sparked up between the team members, we loved it all. Alright, next honorable mention is The Batman. The Batman was, I'm talking about the Batman show that aired on Kids WB back in 2004. It was okay. I didn't like how they introduced Batgirl before Robin. That didn't make sense though. And when they introduced the Justice League at the end of the 4th season, and then they had Batman and Robin team up with the Justice League in the 5th season, what I didn't like though, the Justice League consists of Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Flash, and Green Arrow. No use of Wonder Woman whatsoever, which is it was very shocking. But the villain designs, they were outstanding. I love it, especially the Joker with the dreadlocks. Not dreadlocks, with the dreads. It was dope. All right, next honorable mention, SpiderMan Unlimited. This show didn't last. It really didn't last that long. 13 episodes, ended on a cliffhanger, but the intro was amazing, and how he traveled to a counter version of Earth where Green Goblin is a hero. I think the Vulture is a hero as well. But I really enjoyed Venom and Carnage in that show, especially Carnage. Carnage looked amazing. Like, I kid you not. And the last honorable mention, a lot of people are going to be mad at me when I say this, X-Men. I know, guys, there were so many superhero TV shows I could have watched growing up, but X-Men really was an out of the ballpark show, trust me. From every arc, this show really stayed true to the comics. It had any arc you could think about. The Dark Phoenix saga, the Days of Future Past, the Sentinels, the Age of Apocalypse. This show really stood true to what it really was with the X-Men. And it had so many characters, so many X-Men members. Some people only appeared in like a couple of episodes, but it was really, really, really brilliant. So those are all my honorable mentions. And my number 1 animated superhero TV show is none other than Young Justice, which is, I'm praying this show will come back. Trust me, guys. If you guys, if you have Netflix, keep binge watching the show. Don't stop watching it. I don't have Netflix, but I've been binge watching the show. I just restarted watching the show again for a 4th time. My last video review is where I reviewed Young Justice. Beautiful show, beautiful writing, amazing characters. It's not just your ordinary teenage superhero TV show. It's one of the most watched and had a big fan base. I think compared to this show and Teen Titans, they had the biggest fan base ever for any superhero animated TV show. Teen Titans and Young Justice were one of the best superhero animated shows ever. Not because it focused on well, I would say yes, because it focused on younger superheroes, but it was just phenomenal in every single way. So those were my top 10. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. In the comment section below, tell me what are your top 10 favorite superhero TV shows. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. And until then, I am Vengeance, I am Darkness, I am Blackwing. Stay golden.